We are back. Welcome back, everyone, to Cheer the British Way. And today's episode is all about pride on the mat. We are going to be exploring the LGBTQ plus community and identity within cheer. We are thrilled to have as our guest today Aron. He is a ex-cheerleader, now retired. He has been a Unity All-Stars athlete and coach. He's a 3-time world champion with Unity All-Stars Black and the standout star of this summer's I Kissed a Boy from BBC. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. That was such a nice introduction. I loved that.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in cheer, how it all got started and got going for you and where it's at now.
So started cheerleading at the age of 13 at Unity All-Stars.
Yeah.
Had a few mates who did it. They got in through, I think, school
cheer, I think probably, yeah.
And I heard about it. I just finished gymnastics from the ages of like 16 to 10, and I needed something to like fill that gap. Obviously cheerleading is like a great team sport. And so I went along my mum dropped me off at the Easter camps that you guys used to do.
Oh, I remember your mum well.
Loved it. And then tried out for Pearl, got on, and have been on like ever since. Well, I mean, I left last year. But I'd been on for about, how many years? 15 years?
Well, how old are you now?
28.
So 15 years. Simple maths.
better at cheerleading than maths.
Yeah, Aron was on Pearl back in the day when Pearl was junior too.
Yes.
And there was one kid that had a round off back handspring, that was it. And you did a forward walkover, which you have just informed me he hit every time.
Every single time.
Big news. Mm-hmm. So what first drew you to the sport and what made you feel at home in the sport as a young kind of, hormonal teenager? Well, I've got an almost 13-year-old boy.
Okay,
so.
I think it was a sense of just like community and like having fun with mates. That's the thing that drew me to it immediately. I had lots of friends, but we would just like go to the park and like chill and do very much unstructured things. And just the activity of doing something that was a lot more structured, firstly, my mum absolutely loved. And I loved as well because it just gave me like something to do that channeled all of my like energy into one beautiful space.
And I think obviously you were the only boy on the team.
Yeah.
But I never felt like as your coach, because I coached you back then, that was like an issue for you. You had some fantastic friends on the teams, like you loved the whole vibe. Like we had a great time. It was when it wasn't as highly competitive. The program was really new.
Cheers just changed massively. I was the first ever junior boy on Unity, now when you look at the program, there's so many boys doing incredible things.
That's awesome.
It's nuts.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But like you said, it didn't feel like a thing. It just felt as though like I was just part of a team of similar people who were just like having fun, yet also working hard.
Yeah, just hanging out with all your friends.
Right.
And did you find cheer to be a safe space for you for self-expression? Because you were confident. We were just talking about the first ever cheer comp when you had, talk me through your hairstyle.
So I had a blonde strip down my hair. It was the Vogue dance.
Absolutely. And what a dance.
It was just such a little camp old time.
Yeah.
Like even before I knew my identity, I was just like having so much fun, like doing all the motions and stuff. And it was a safe space for me.
Yeah.
Dave put together an amazing routine. And I think that was actually Dave's first year.
Yeah.
And
coaching Pearl, yeah.
And we just had like this fierce dance and I just felt amazing doing it. It was great. It was like the first, like, it was a way for me to express myself before I even knew who I was.
Yeah, for sure. Because so you actually didn't come out until you were 20, you just said.
Yeah, I went to uni. Had some like self-exploration to do at uni, and then felt comfortable enough to like come out. I actually came out to my cheer friends at uni. It was an experience.
And how much do you think being a cheerleader and being part of a sport where you did feel so safe and so empowered to be exactly who you were helped you on that journey?
Oh, massively. Like cheer's a bubble. Within that, there's so much like acceptance. Like I felt so comfortable to just be myself and live my truth. And even though I didn't necessarily come out in my teen years, it still gave me the opportunity to like get to know myself. So that when I did come out, I was very much like self-accepting and loved all parts of myself.
I think that's a powerful thing as well, that your cheer friends in that space was the first place that you did feel comfortable to. That says so much about the sport, I think. And, we've mentioned it before, that it is a sense of pride, like for all of us, of how accepting and how inclusive it is.
Absolutely.
For all kinds of people in all ways. How do you see cheer's culture within cheerleading compared to other sports in that kind of sense?
So I mean, the main sport I've done is the main cheer sport I've done. Sorry, the main team sport I've done is cheerleading. Like I do running. However, that's quite like a solo sport.
It's an individual pursuit,
right?
Isn't it? Yeah.
So I mean, the main reference point I have is cheer. But when I compare it to like other sports that my friends were doing growing up, like rugby and football, cheer is a very accepting space. And from like a top management level, you have so many different people who represent so many different communities. You have people who are LGBT, you have people who are, strong women, you have people of color. Like you have so many different groups of people who you can look up to and aspire to become. It's a real beautiful thing that I think this sport has in abundance.
Yeah, I think the diversity within our sport is incredible. And like you say, there are so many different groups represented and leading and showing power and showing, all those like life skills and leadership that our young people can really look up to. And obviously as a parent of I've got 2 boys who are almost 13 and almost 11 and a daughter who's in cheer. Like as a parent, all you want is to know that your child is going to a place, to a community, to a club, to a group, to a sport where they can be absolutely themselves, where they can be completely accepted and where they feel comfortable to be their authentic self. That's something every parent wants for their children. So I think the fact that you found that, and do you ever talk to your mum about that kind of, you as a teenager versus you as this sort of really accomplished and incredibly mature and gorgeous grown-up man that you are now, that I've had to watch grow up, even though I'm very young myself.
Yeah, I do have a conversation with my mum, and it's wild because I just don't really deep it until I like look backwards at my life. Like winning the World Championships 3 times in a row is crazy, but you don't really actually realize how crazy it is unless you like sit down and be like, wow, I've actually done that, and like you tell other people. And yeah, like even like taking all the winnings aside, just like the journey that I've been on as an individual is crazy. Like, yeah.
Were there particular role models that you found in the sport that did inspire you to find your identity, to be authentic about that stuff?
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. And what's so like nice about the sport is that you have role models who are like coaches. Dave was a great role model of mine. But then also you have role models on the team as well, like Adrian, Stephen Pop. Like they were all very much people who were a little bit older than me and who I'd also like look up to and like want to be like and emulate.
Yeah, because they were and these are athletes that actually originally were on Ascension Eagles Legacy. And then they did when Legacy no longer had a World team, Ascension no longer had a World team, they moved and they were on Unity. And they were so just absolutely authentic in every single way. There was no part of them that ever felt that they needed to suppress a part of themselves to be accepted. Right. So I can imagine for you, being a few years younger than them, that was just incredible to have those kind of people to look at and go, if you can be 100% yourself in this space, then so can I.
Definitely. And like it was wild because I would like look up to them on a junior team and then I got to be on a team with them. And it was just like, wow, okay, I'm actually doing this. And it was a great experience.
Oh, I love that. Have you ever faced barriers or negative experiences in cheer, do you feel, because of your identity?
Within cheer, no, I wouldn't say so.
Which is just amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Like, as I said before, like cheer is like a bubble. For 4 hours a week, you can be in the space and whatever happens outside of it doesn't really matter. Like you're in the space of your teammates, striving for one goal, having a laugh, whilst also working crazy hard. And so I wouldn't say that I've faced any barriers in that space. And I think that just is testament to the sport and to the people behind the sport as well.
Did you find any challenges, particularly as a teenage boy? Because it's something that comes up a lot 100%. For me. I didn't, like a lot of people, get into cheer until I was in my 20s. Yeah. By which, and there was plenty of ribbing. I suppose bullying is definitely putting it way too strongly. But, you know, there's a lot, you deal with a lot of stuff as a guy in cheerleading with the stigmas and the cliches that come with it.
Yeah.
And I frequently say, I can't imagine having a thick enough skin as a teenage boy to have dealt with that.
No.
You know, did you find a lot of that? I'm always fascinated by that.
Of course, yeah.
What were your non-cheer friends like?
It is character building, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so like I said, I did cheer from a young age, 13. And people definitely did not get over there. We didn't have the Netflix cheer documentary. We didn't have any of that.
Yeah, which has been incredibly helpful for your
so
sort of day-to-day person being like, well, hang on, just watch this.
Right.
And then you'll see what I
get
do.
it.
It's actually
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
Back then we didn't have that. So people would actually have to like, I mean, if they cared, watch a YouTube documentary. Sorry, watch a YouTube video of a routine to actually get it.
Yeah.
But nobody ever got that far. So people very much thought it was just like pom-pom, sideline cheer, dancing, whatever, until you actually explained it. And I mean, sometimes, most of the time, I'd still get the ribbon and stuff. But like, I didn't care.
No.
I really didn't care because I'd go to practice and I'd be with my girlies and it would be a lot of fun. So like, you can hate it, but I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it. I can do my flips. That was actually something that would shut people up. Do a few back handspring.
Oh my God.
And I thought it was amazing.
Tuck down the pavement.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
That's great because we must, you know, we know we do. We must lose so many younger boys.
Oh God,
at that age
absolutely.
from the sport, which is such a shame. There's so many talented athletes that it is difficult. There's a lot, you know, there's a lot to face with that.
I think what we see often in our gym now is we have got some incredibly talented younger teenage boys coming through. Those that become that really top level in terms of tumbling, it's becomes more accepting.
Yes.
Whereas as a girl, to be an entry-level cheerleader on a prep team is absolutely fine. It's for everyone, but it's kind of, I still feel there's a bit of a sense that it's only as accepted for the boys when they're incredibly good.
Agreed.
You know, and that's difficult because the only way you get incredibly good is by being in the gym.
Yeah.
And learning. There's one of our kids, he's on Royal, Freddie. He's just becoming an absolute standout athlete. He's phenomenal. And he was on our prep team, Mango. I know, Mango. And now look at him. I mean, he's just phenomenal. But that is, he lives in the gym.
Yeah.
The kid lives in the gym. But, you know, he's gone through that you know, entry-level stage and it's taken that time to get him to where he is. But I think I'd love to see more boys coming into the sport, you know, without that fear of how it's going to be portrayed.
Yeah, you have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
And not everyone's going to be, not everyone's going to take to it naturally. Not everyone's going to be able to be doing like double fulls. But like, in order to, you need to be able to step foot into the gym and that like uncomfortable phase needs to be sort of like taken out.
And I think we would all love to see that, wouldn't we? Like, you know, both Unity and EMCA have strong co-ed programs, but I'd love to be strong co-ed across every single level, and that just means getting boys in the door and having them feel confident and comfortable enough to be in the sport without fear of repercussion because people still don't understand the sport enough. You know, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to start this podcast, like positive discussions around the sport, not just for the people that are in it, but also for those that maybe don't know as much about it and need to understand it a little better. How have support systems in cheer perhaps helped your mental health? Like, you know, obviously, like you said, you were at uni chair when you came out at 20 years old. Like, what support do you think you got? You know, is there positive discussions around that for you?
Absolutely. I think through every single stage of my life, cheer has given me a positive support network, mainly through like the form of friends and just having somebody to speak to, whether that's through my GCSEs and A-levels or just like going through particular hard times at university, coming out. Like my teammates have been a lot more than teammates. If anything, they've been more like a family. So yeah, I think I honestly don't know like the person that I would be today if I didn't have cheerleading in my life. And I can say that with my hand on my heart. So yeah, I've just got this amazing network of people who I know I will have in my life for the rest of my life.
Yeah, lifelong friends.
Absolutely. And extremely fortunate for that.
Well, I think a lot of people feel that way about this sport. I think, you know, I see so many kids who come into the gym now who are struggling at school and struggle with school friends, and their entire friendship group is in the gym. And I think it gives a space to so many people, regardless of, you know, their background. There's a shared passion and a shared love for the sport, and that's what, you know, brings these people together and allows them to find a family.
It can be a very different space and a different group of people around them, because I think a lot of times school can be a very particular thing. It often is a very specific kind of experience, and it's not, I was going to say for athletes, for children, and it's not, school isn't for everybody. Everybody should go to school. Don't get me wrong. Stay in school, kids. But, you know, a lot of people really, really struggle with that, and it operates a particular way. And like you say, when you see athletes come in, and it frequently happens, we'll find out that a kid that is great in the gym is a whole different kid at school.
Oh, all the time.
And they're having trouble at school and or whatever, or they've been excluded or something. And you're like, really, that kid? Like, they're, you know, wonderful kid. It can be a totally different experience, and being able to provide that different space, that different group of people, that different culture, different atmosphere than they might experience in other places in their life is so vital and important to be that, you know, and we've said it a few times, a safe space.
Yeah.
What I've definitely found is that, like, when something difficult is going on outside of cheer, I'll come into the gym, and even if I try to be upset about it, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I just...
We've had a few of those moments, haven't we, over the years?
Listen.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, I'll text you for practice. Like, I'm feeling really bad.
I'm like, come in for a cuddle.
Right. And
Leave a package at the door.
And yeah, it's like as if nothing's bad has happened.
I mean, we've weathered many storms together, haven't we?
We have.
Many storms, many ups and downs.
Many.
I mean, I feel like I've literally seen Aaron grow up in front of my eyes, you know, and then last season you coached for us.
Yeah.
And it was
Incredible.
just, it's amazing to have seen you on this journey. And I don't want to say growing confidence, because even as a 13-year-old, you were always confident, you were always fun, you were always vibing, you know. And it's always been such an amazing teammate and actually, I think because you're such a vibrant personality, if you are feeling low, the team could always feel that, couldn't they? Because when you've got a big personality on the team, often everyone relies on them to be like, where's the fun?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's a responsibility that you sort of have to like
shoulder.
Yeah.
When you're fun. When you're a fun guy.
It's a hard time being fun.
Yeah, I know.
Mood setters.
Especially though, obviously, like on a team on Black the last few years, obviously we've had great success. You got to be part of that amazing, you know, experience.
Yeah.
And it really has been. I mean, I'm not coaching Black anymore, but it has been, we had our last Worlds together on Black, and it's been so special to have seen the journey, because you were on Black in 2015, 16, then you went to uni. So you were on Black before you went to uni, right?
Yeah.
And then you were at Coventry, weren't you?
Yes.
Went to Coventry Dynamite and competed at Worlds with them.
Yep.
And then moved back home and then came back to Black. So you had a really long journey.
I did.
As part of that team. And I think we've had so many personalities and different types of people come through that team, but it has always been a vibe.
It's been fun, chaotic, energetic. It's been like the most
Tragic,
tragic, everything in between. But yeah, no, it's been a journey, and just where the team's at now is beautiful, and the future of the team just looks incredible, and I'm so
I mean, it's created a legacy that I hope will live on. I think was Aaron on the team when you came back and coached Black?
Don't think so.
No.
I think I was in your in-between years, really. Yeah, no, I don't
you
think
missed
so.
him.
But you were around, we started Steel that year.
Yes.
first ever Steel.
So Steel,
So
just
you're
for
back
anyone
part-time.
Steel is obviously now one of our Worlds teams, and it's non-tumble co-ed 6, but Steel actually, Black moved back into the level 5, now 6 division, because we wanted a competition in England.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for us, was it, that division? We didn't do so great. But we moved back into that division, and then we decided we wanted to go back into level 6, now 7. So we created Steel and gave them to Ant. And it was just like all of these people coming back from all walks of life.
All the
Once a
throwbacks.
month. Literally.
Once a month, get
in
this
the school hall.
together. Here's a bunch of old semi-retired,
Oh, that was fun.
largely talented, perfectly capable.
largely
We haven't
talented.
really explored level 7
To go for a bid,
while.
right?
Get
Jam
after
Fest?
it, get a
Got a
bid.
bit of
Jam
Jam Fest?
Fest. Oh my
Jam
god,
Fest.
Yeah.
We had a great time. Well, you guys had a great time driving me to the edge of near insanity.
That we did.
Most of the time. Discipline was an issue.
Lateness.
I think often though,
Showing up was an issue in the grand tradition of open teams.
I'd say with anyone that has coached an open co-ed team, good Lord, send strength. It is hard work. The personalities, the attendance,
Yes.
the back chat.
And
Oh,
it
we
was a
had
once a
some
month
I
times.
just don't envy you guys.
Something about the less commitment you ask of people, the less you're going to get.
Yeah,
Because, you know,
absolutely. Like
so
when
you've only got to come
you're
once a
all
month,
in-
but you still can't make it, for the love of goodness.
and that's how it started. But I think you're right when you talked about the role models that you've had through the sport. There have been some incredible role models, and I know you just touched briefly on Dave, and he'll hate me talking about him on this podcast, but he was a massive role model in your life, wasn't
massive,
he?
yeah.
You know, he was a guy that had come into the sport and was just completely and utterly himself in every single way.
Yeah.
Never made an excuse for himself. He was just him.
Yeah.
And I think not everyone knows him as well as we do, but he is just a phenomenal human and an amazing coach. And he was a great role model for you during those years where you were the only teenage boy in the gym.
He was, one of my first ever coaches and taught me a lot of what I know now. He was always and is always unapologetically himself. And also going from being coached by him to then coaching alongside him.
Yeah, because you guys coached Smoke together last season.
And that was great. He's honestly amazing. And having like such a vibrant, fun, energetic, gay role model at such a young age was so important because I got to see a part of myself even before I knew that was myself.
Yeah.
It was great.
When did you realise? I don't know if that's the correct way to say it. When
Yeah,
did you
no,
realise? But when did you accept who you
Yes.
were? When was that turning point for you?
Yeah.
As someone who'd come into a really as you said it back in the day, very camp
Yeah.
sport, where you got to spray paint your hair at competitions, and go, actually, this is who I am.
So it was a bit of a journey. I just felt a little bit different from like quite a young age, but I couldn't put my finger on it and I didn't really know what that was. And then I remember I was at the bus stop once, I was probably around like 17. And I was like, God, yeah, I think I'm gay. And I was like, it's actually quite like sad, but I was like, I've got to keep the secret all my life. Like I actually can't come out. Like,
You actually think that?
Yeah, at the time I did. Like I thought that's what my life was going to be. And I sort of like sat on that for quite a while and suppressed it. And then it wasn't until I was at uni where I met lots of other gay people. And I was like, okay, this is very normal. Why am I hiding such a big part of myself? I'm just going to start doing me. So I one day told my uni cheer friends. They were like, okay, we've been known. Like, water's wet. Like, okay, Aaron, of course. And then I just like told other people. But like it's strange because like now, obviously I still come out to people, like at work, etc. But it's very much not like a thing. Like
Definitely. And in the industry we're in, it's
yeah,
absolutely not a thing.
100% not in this industry.
Do you think, and it's hard to speculate, obviously, alternative timeline, but do you think cheer being that space that it would have been more difficult if you hadn't had that space and that group of friends that made going through that process a bit more accessible?
Without a doubt.
Almost a soft launch.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. It was like a crash mat.
Such a soft launch. They were like, yeah, we do.
Good analogy.
Oh, nice.
Love it.
Nice.
But no, it was great because I had this community. I knew lots of different gay, lesbian individuals, and I just felt so comfortable to be able to figure out what I was in my own terms, and then share that. And although I was scared sharing it and like coming out for the first time, I found it got easier each time I did it.
Yeah.
And to have my cheer friends be so accepting and so supportive of me just made it just 100 times easier.
And to think you went from, being a 17-year-old standing at the bus stop thinking, I'm going to squash who I am and live a lie, to being on a BBC show,
Crazy.
meeting your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, talk to us about that. I mean, what an amazing experience. And everything that's come from it. So just give everyone who's listening a bit of background on that.
So I was on the UK's first ever gay dating show. It's actually quite crazy because we filmed a year ago, like now.
Yeah, he missed choreo.
I did.
And champion.
I missed.
He was like, he messaged me one day and was like, I might not be here for choreo. And now if you're on a Unity World Sim, you don't miss choreo at the end. I'm sure it's the same in your gym. You just don't miss choreo. Why? Well, I'm actually, and it was all a secret, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Going on a gay dating show. I was like, oh, well, fair enough. And I was like, go on then. And then he was like, oh, but I'll be back if I don't do very well.
You're like, no.
And I was like, he's going to win, isn't he? Of course he's going to win. It's Aaron. Like, of course he's going to be amazing.
We've taught him to be a winner. We dominate this.
We don't take
I was like, he is going to be incredible. Of course he's going to be incredible.
Is there a way for you to hit 0 on this show?
Oh, I hit 0. 100%.
Yeah, you did. So you filmed a year ago.
Filmed a year ago in Italy. The amazing Danny Minogue presents it, hosts it. And the premise is you go inside a villa, Masseria, and before you do anything else, you're partnered up, production partner you up, and you meet this person for the first time, no words, go up to them and have a kiss. And for me, it went incredible. The person who I was matched up with from the beginning, Jazz, we had an incredible experience throughout the whole entire month that we were out there. And yeah, like we've been together a year.
And they are very cute.
Yeah, he's great. He's honestly the most incredible human.
And he came to support you.
He came out to Worlds, He came out to a few...
he came to loads of comps.
Actually,
he came to Team England Showcase.
He came to Showcase.
Yep.
He came to FC Nationals.
Yeah.
He pretty much came to all the comps.
Yeah. And you guys are still super happy.
Yeah.
So production did well.
Production did
pairing
their
you
damn
together.
thing.
They really did. Yeah. They did their thing.
But what's really funny as well, that like... So on the last episode, our families came out as well. And they were talking, and all the other families, all the other boys were out there as well. And they managed to pair, my family and Jazz's family managed to figure out that we were dating based on their descriptions of us, which I found really interesting. So production did very well.
Yeah. And you're still really happy. So what are your plans? What are you guys up to?
So we want to go travelling next year.
Nice.
Don't know how long yet, but we'll see. And then come back, move in, and
live happily ever after.
Live happily ever after. That's the plan.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
And I think actually it's like you've become a bit of an icon, a bit of a gay icon. Yeah. You've spent the summer
all the prides,
doing appearances, all the prides and like
podcasts.
You are now representing in real mainstream media, like on the BBC. Being a super confident, as I said, like bright, accomplished, amazing cheerleading coach.
Yeah.
/ gay man.
Yeah.
And you're really you're representing that, and it's just amazing.
It's brilliant. But like the reason why I'm here and doing what I'm doing and have the confidence I have is because of cheerleading. And it's something that actually production picked on in the process. Because I feel like from a young age, there's so many skills that I was taught by my coaches that I didn't even realise. Like having confidence, performance, time management, all these...
Time management.
So showing up on time.
I always harp on about time management.
These are skills that, like, as a teenager, I might have been a bit annoyed about, but it's so important, and I've carried it into my adult life. And just like being the best version of yourself, because there's going to be people watching you, is something that you held us to.
A high standard.
Yeah, like being on Black, that's something that was very, very heavy and very, very hot. And that's something that I have to be now as like a representative within the gay community.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very transferable.
Yeah.
Do you think, when we get back to looking at cheer as a whole, do you think there are things that cheer can be doing better to be more inclusive, to be more accessible to LGBTQ plus athletes and coaches and everybody else? Is there anything you'd like to see change?
It's the one space where I feel as though there's not really barriers for the LGBT community.
Do you feel like there's good representation at all levels? Like, do you see people within the sports space that are representative of you and that kind of thing across, event producers, people in positions of power, judges, coaches, all of that stuff?
Yeah, I'd say within this sport, like it's very different to other sports, and I see people who look like me, who love like me, in all different like parts of the cheer industry, whether that's as a teammate or as a coach.
I mean, I'd say definitely in the UK, I think we have, you know, in terms of judges and gym owners, I'd say we have quite a good representation. I mean, I know in the US, it's still very much a male-dominated sport at the top level.
Yeah.
But it is different in the UK. You know, there are more women, there are more gay men, there are more gay women. Like there are, you know, there's a lot of representation and diversity, I think, in the UK in the sport. You know, I can't speak for other countries, but I think, you know, I think we do see that. And, you know, we recently did something on our Instagram. We did a video about representation within our gym specifically and had some of the athletes talking about their experiences. And it was all really positive. And we had a lot of gay women speak out about their experiences. And I think, you know, for them, it was really positive as well. And they also felt that it was a safe space and, you know, they felt welcomed and, you know, protected and supported and loved. And I think, you know, if we're getting that right in the sport, then we're doing a great job. And for sure, there's always more that can be done. But, you know, in our gym, we have a great big rainbow on the wall and we love everyone. And unity is exactly that. You know, it is about everyone being welcome and it being for everyone. And I think that's naturally a big part of what our gym has always been about. What do you feel like at your gym? I mean, what sort of representation do you think you have at EMCA?
I think great. We have a big open age 18 plus base in the gym. We have a lot of students, big student town.
Yeah, of course.
So a lot of our athletes come from that, and it is. I don't feel like from where I sit that people. I've never experienced that people see a barrier to coming in on that side of things. I think people do find it inclusive and accepting and is somewhere I can go. You know, from my end of things, one of the things I would like to certainly see more of, and I'm kind of sensitive to, which is a little tricky from from where I sit, is increasing diversity, certainly in terms of racial and ethnic diversity, just with the communities that we have around. So as a gym owner, I think in terms of, okay, how can we reach different groups and communities?
Yeah.
I think the LGBTQ plus less.
Yeah.
Because it perhaps comes a bit more naturally.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's already kind of, that connection is there and people know
I think,
that it's
I
likely
think there's
to
a
be a safe
gravitation
space.
towards the sport because of how accepting it's historically been.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think, part of having a great, you know, sort of ethnic diversity into your gym is often location based as well.
Just about to say.
Yeah, like obviously we're based in London. When, you know, we have just everyone at Unity, we really do. But that part of that is just where we are.
Based, yeah, definitely.
You know, where we're based, you know, we're very central, we're in a city. So I think that lends itself more to kind of having better representation than you would if you were in a more rural venue, like more rural area.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I tend to think about is and I can't remember who brought it up to me, but I guess it's quite a common way of thinking, like if somebody from a particular background comes into your gym, did they feel like there are other people that look like them and they feel comfortable with it? Or if, you know, if a black kid comes in the gym and we are very white-dominated coaching staff, are they going to feel comfortable? And from my end of it as a gym owner, how can I improve that? Because that's something that I want to be better at.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily, you know, an easy thing to do. But, yeah, definitely, I think we think in terms of that inclusivity. I don't know how much you do, you know, that is a core
Yeah, I
thing
mean,
that we're aware
we
of.
have a very diverse coaching staff.
Yeah, you certainly do much
Like
more.
really, really diverse.
Yeah.
We have 25 staff across the cheer and power tumble, and an enormous age range, an enormous range of everything else. Like it really is, isn't it? Very, very diverse, which is fantastic, and that's something we're actually really proud of and we really champion. But I think, you know, the fact that we're having these conversations around the sport and inclusivity is exactly what we should be doing. You know, the more we talk about it, the more people can be aware of it, the more positive work can go into making sure that everyone feels able to come into the sport and be part of it, you know.
And like excel as well. I think seeing like Chin, for example, as a young person was also quite nice to see that like there was a black member of staff, a black coach in a senior position.
Yeah.
It's something that you don't really like take for granted.
No, absolutely.
And yeah, as a young black kid, something that I definitely did appreciate.
Yeah, because you would have walked into the gym and you would have seen
Yeah.
a gay man
Yeah.
and a black woman.
Yeah.
And there's that's representation straight away.
Right.
And that's really, really positive to think that way.
Yeah. And that's back like
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So talk to me.
yes.
Let's go back to cheerleading, about your first ever cheerleading competition and what that experience was like for you. This is something we're going to be speaking to all of our guests about moving forwards. Your first ever cheer comp and your memories from it.
So it was FC Winter Wonderland.
Yes.
Which happened in December. So I'd been doing it properly I've been doing cheerleading on Unity Pearl for about 3 months?
Yeah, probably. We started in like September, didn't we?
And it was a big deal. I had as I said before, my blonde strip down my hair.
Yeah, nice.
Had my uniform ready to go.
It was Crystal Palace,
It
wasn't
was, yes. Had my tumble pass, my front hand. I did a front walkover. I always used to split my legs, and I don't know why that was.
Maybe it was a front handspring step out.
Maybe, I don't think that's what
I'm sure you never
a fine
deviated
line.
from the choreography. You would have never. This is a guy, I cannot tell you, has never gone a routine without just adding his own motions.
little sprinkle of
It would drive me. But I'd be like, Aaron, what are you doing? What is that? One night, even literally, just this world's just gone. What is that? And then when Ladarius came on the team with you, oh, good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We
all
had
the
a little
motions.
something.
All the motions crept in. But yeah, so Crystal Palace, Winter
Crystal
Wonderland.
Palace.
So it must have been, 2010, I think, probably.
About that, yeah. And yeah, I don't remember much from it, but and it's crazy because even when I look at the videos, it's like in 2 megapixel.
Yeah.
So like I can't actually
so
make a lot
grainy.
from
Hang
it.
on, we were just talking about DVDs and magnetic tape, and he's worried that his first video was in 2 megapixels.
But no, it was a crazy experience, very overwhelming, very nerve wracking. But we won.
Did we?
I think so.
Yes.
I think
Pearl.
because that was the AEC Unity Pearl.
Oh,
that
goodness
was
me. Were you in my team, the cheerleaders?
No,
Or
that was the year I just
That was the year
out.
you'd aged out. Guys, if you want a throwback, BBC, my team, the cheerleaders, it was Unity Pearl, Ascension Eagles, and Rising Stars. And we all battled together to get to Future Cheer Heart of England. And it was like a whole series. It was like a 5-parter. I think it's still available on YouTube, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what a throwback. Yeah, because that was 2014, actually. So, yeah, we must have been edging in.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the start, the sort of bigger Unity program. So you pretty much been involved the entire time when we trained at Sutton Sports Village.
The
roll-out
tennis can we
mats.
bring out?
Remember
Yeah.
that track we used to put together?
I do.
Oh, my goodness me. How things have changed. But that's how everyone started, right? You just rolled a few mats out in a church hall.
Yeah, or some slidey judo mats that
Yeah.
just kept pulling apart, and you had to keep pushing back together.
And then if you
Whatever
were
you could
very
get.
lucky, you eventually got like a fold-up fast track that you'd like keep in the corner of the room. Wow. I mean, it really is like wild, isn't it, to think, 15 years since you first started, how much the sport has evolved.
Massively.
And how far you've come as a person, from that boy you were then to the sort of confident person that you are now, and how much cheerleading has been part of it and how important it has been to your entire life.
Yeah, definitely.
It's wonderful to hear. It's wonderful. And I've loved watching it. I have loved watching your journey.
Oh, thank you.
And I miss you, and come back and visit us, please.
I will.
Anytime. I'm sure you end up filling in at some
Oh,
point.
you know it. I'll be at a comp. Let me know. I'll be there.
Actually, Steeler looking for a back spot.
I can fill in for a couple comps.
Oh, I see. It's creeping back in. So I think we're sort of running out of time because we've spoken so much because it's so easy to talk. But our campaign that we're working on this year, #NotJustCheer, just reminding everyone that cheerleading is a safe space to celebrate individual identities. And if we had one piece of advice to leave our listeners with from you, what would it be?
find your tribe, whatever that looks like, whoever that is, find it, because there are people, it's quite easy to feel isolated, but there's people out there who love you for you. So find that, bask in it, love them, and yeah, just
Never look back.
never look back. Live in your truth. Love yourself.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It's been a great conversation. Absolutely loved it. For everybody listening, don't forget, send us in your questions, your requests. If you've got requests or advice for everything surrounding LGBTQ plus athletes and issues within cheerleading, we'd love to hear it. We'd love to continue the conversation. You can message us on Instagram or TikTok or pop us an email at hello@cheerthebritishway.co.uk. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share, help us reach more people around this amazing community. Aron, thank you again so much for coming in.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for having
much.
me. It was amazing.
Very good.
Oh, that was so much fun.